Check mic test. Alrighty. Hello, mic test 1 2 3. Good day, guys. Good afternoon, good morning, whatever day it is there. This is Practiphile. A little bit about myself. I'm a self-taught musician. I mainly play the drums. I also play the guitars. I learned how to play, which one first? Guitars, no, drums and then guitars. But whatever. Yeah, I used to live in the land of audio heaven, Japan. So probably right now I probably heard more than, I don't know, more than 500, maybe close to 1,000 sets. However, it does not mean that my ears are superior to yours, because everything in this hobby is subjective. Your opinions are as valid as mine. So, because in the end, it's your money that you're gonna spend. So that's about it. Today we're going to talk about yeah, some budget sets in here. I do have, well, the content has been lately of hype. It was okay. It was okay for its price range. Bless me. Ooh. A lot of people actually think, why do I do this early in the morning? Because first impressions last. You know, like I learned this when I was doing impressions in Japan. And most of the time, 90% of the time, my first impression doesn't really change. And then that first impression, that first impression, how do I even start it? We hear the IM differently depending on which part of the day we listen to it. Do you agree with that? Now, so I had an IM, like a daily drive IM, when I was in Japan. In my experience, in my ears, that IM sounded different when I first go to the train station to commute in the morning, and going back, that IM just sounds different. Different in a way that in the morning it's more like a warm set. Going back, it becomes kind of like no bass at all. So I don't know if it's because of the noise pollution of the train or whatever, or what it did. We just hear things differently depending on which part of the day we listen to music or IMs. So mornings, I find it, like very fresh. Your brain has just fresh. It just makes sense, right? Anyhow, I think I'm gonna do the nice buds first, because it's the cheapest. uh if I do this last, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be a nice impression, but I'm gonna do this one at first. Nice buds, how much are these? Nice buds. $9, $10. A little bit expensive than the Vitos, but whatever. All right. Let me know if my mic volume is low, by the way, because I just changed the position of the mic. Because it was before it was down, and sometimes I can't reach out to some of my IMs. It's blocking the way. So hopefully this one's better. And when I face the camera too, I think, volume doesn't change, or I don't know. Just let me know. But yeah, nice buds. Any of you guys into earbuds? I'm an earbud guy. Like if I have to bring something, not bring, yeah, take a set somewhere, it's there's always an earbud with me. There's always an earbud. I use it to sleep. Every night I use an earbud to sleep. My daily is a K64 case earphone. It's discontinued. K64, I don't know, like I bought the Yincro X6. It's not as good as the. It's warm, but I don't know. There's just something about the K64. Maybe I'm just a vocal centric guy. Um, and these feel cheap. Like the cable is really thin. Um, these are really cheap feeling. Like, man, like I don't know. Like, so there's the shells are I don't know, probably different, maybe custom or something, but that's how they look like in there. But these are they're okay. So right in there. How about the fit? Fit is fine. All right, let's just give it a try then. Nice buds. All right, let's see if they're nice. What do we do? What do we do? Okay. Test track. Nope. Unwell by. Oh wait, did I tell? Should I do a timer? Yeah, I think I should do a timer, right? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Yeah, probably only 10 minutes per IM. It was 15 last week. I find it was too long, so 10 minutes start. Is it? Okay, so start this. All right, let's start with Unwell here. Okay. These are no bass at all. But they're not bright. But wait. Okay. Yeah, these are bright. Um I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Monks SM. It kind of like gave me that feeling. Mids are okay. Upper mid focus, definitely, yeah. Okay, let's try High Spring by IU here. Yeah. Vocals are, yeah, definitely vocals are forward. Um, let's check bass in here. Nah, there's a little bit of timbral inaccuracies in here. I feel like there's an early rise of the gain, maybe around 2K. Treble seems fine. They're definitely, these are like bass light. I don't call it bright, but bass light. Yeah, well, bright. Whatever. But yeah, it's like there's a very early roll off for the bass. Like there's no sub bass at all. There's no mid bass. It feels like it's just mids and treble. Good for vocals though. All right, let's try Playing God. The instrument seems to sound natural at first, but the more you really dig into its sound, it's yeah. I mean, it's not bad, but there are definitely better sets like the Vito for like $2, $1, or $3. X6, they're definitely not engaging, man. Like I don't know for vocals. It's weird. It's like there's really no impact on the bass. it's it's mid and it's just mid and treble. That's it. For $10 though, I don't know. For $10, what do I think? I'm not yet done with my 10 minutes, by the way, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like, this is how I started reviewing when I was in Japan. I make very, very quick impressions. I know it's irresponsible. It's, but you just, I can't be auditioning sets there for like 30 minutes on each. Like, I just didn't have that time. And Japan is a country where, you know, like, time flies so fast in there. Um, it's not like the Philippines where you have all the time you needed. Japan is a little bit different. Anyhow, going back to my point, so I kind of like learned. I'm not saying that this is the correct way, but I kind of like learned how what things to look for in an IM or in a sound, and jump right into my impression, write down something, post on Facebook, and that's it. How was my week? It was okay. I live in Idaho. Like, even if I live in Idaho, we don't have snow here. And whoo, yeah, you know what? It's so hard to find a community here. I mean, if had I lived in California, I'm pretty sure that I could probably meet Mark and maybe most of the reviewers. Um, but Idaho, man, like, what do you know? Um, and I think there's someone like I mentioned, like, you know, he lives close by, and so we're meeting next week. Um, Yay, I have a community. Way back when I was in the Philippines in Cebu, we used to have meetups. Every time Hi-Fi Go sends me stuff, the week after we meet up, you know, like, just so that I can share, and, you know, because it's really about auditioning, man. Like, it's really about auditioning. And first impressions too. You know, like, even when you go to audio shows, you do you know, like, you listen to IMs the first time, and it leaves an impression, and then you tell, like, oh, I really like that set, I want to save for that and buy it, you know. So that's how first impressions are, you know, important. And I try to make my first impressions early in the morning, so that it's hopefully it's accurate as possible. But I guess I am done with the nice buds. What do you think about it? It's nice. I don't know if it's nice. It's they very cheap buds. Yeah, not very cheap. There's cheaper one. Unbelievably bass light. Nice, yeah, maybe nice earbuds. You know what? Vito. There's definitely Vito better sounding sets, and I just can't find. I can't recommend it. No. What? Why would you buy that? If there's like a cheaper one, reasonably. Anyhow, moving on to the next old-fashioned moondrop. So these has been getting a lot of reviews. I'm also getting the Fio Bluetooth Mark that recently reviewed. That's interesting. Um, I've always said this. Fio stuff is incredible recently, like, really incredible. Um, I don't know why Mark hasn't reviewed the Retro Nano. I don't have any idea why. It's just it's unbelievable source. Even with the melody, like their dongle, it has, like, because they have an app and you can do a PEQ there. Oop. Something fell. Could be the manuals. Moondrop. Yeah, warranty card, old fashioned. This is Yeah, this is removable cable, right? This is interesting. Wow, these are nice. They actually feel good. They feel sturdy. Like they feel nice. Oop. How do I? Okay. Like that. Okay. And the cable in here. Oh man. I should buy a fake ear so that I can start measuring these. I'm getting a lot of headphone Bluetooth headphones getting sent, and I hate it when I can't find them. Oh man, okay, now this is the tricky part in here because I don't know. They didn't put an indicator which is forward, and so I can have reverse polarity in here, you know what I mean? And I don't like that because when I hear this, it's gonna be my first impression. So usually with cables, they indicate a dot, a red dot, which tells you which one is forward and back, but that is so I don't see it in here. Do I hear a difference in polarity? Yes. It doesn't really change the tonality, but it's more of like spatial something. I don't know. I just feel it. Who is there in California? Aside from Mark, Audio Amigo, JTiz, and other people, I guess. Sharur, maybe? I don't know. All right. Yeah, they feel okay. But man, okay, let's oh, sorry about that. Let's start timer here. 10 minutes. I only have 10. Unwell by Matchbox. 20. Wow, okay. These are very I know these are very fit dependent because they're over ear. These are nice. These should be nice headphones. Yeah, these are really nice. Natural so far. Bright tilted definitely. Okay, let me check that by IU High Spring by. Hey, hi there, Gian. All right, these are nice. Very good vocals, very forward vocals. Not very, but I mean, I blasted my volume, so pleasing female vocals. All right, how about females? Haven't tried female. Okay, Here Without You by Three Doors Down. Man, where are they now though? Like three. You guys know Three Doors Down? I like this, yeah. These are nice. The tonality is really nice, yeah. Do we have a graph of this? I think Mark. Let me. Old fashioned. There we go. Okay, yeah. Base light, yep. It's let's just use Mark's one. There's a cut there at 6K. Um yeah, you hear it. I just wish there could have been like a better bass, I guess. These are very detailed though. For an over earphone, these are very detailed. Boom ba boom boom. Boom ba boom. You know what? I had a sorry. I had a discovery. It's about so earbuds. I found earbuds to be really detailed, like earbuds. Oh, huh? Yeah, flatheads earbuds. I find them really detailed, but I don't think they're detailed deliberately. And I think it's just the nature of it that it doesn't seal. The bass leaks, and so just treble pops out naturally, if that makes sense. Like the ear gain just pops out naturally. Um, so that's what I think about this one in here. I don't think the details are being forced. In IMs, it's a little bit different because it's sealed. Um, it just that's how it is. Um, where am I? I'm lost. My point is, yeah, these are very detailed in a way that um, there's just less bass in there to compensate the brightness, and it's even not bright in. It's not bright in like in a bad way. It's actually nice. Mainly because maybe there's a cut in here around the presence area. So it's like you have the vocal gain in there, a little bit of upper mid. You have a cut, which, sometimes makes the mid range and the fundamentals pop out more. And my target actually has a cut in there, a deliberate cut, and that's the exact purpose of it. Because if it had a little bit of increase in there, then plus with this air in here, this could have been a little bit sibilant, but I don't hear that in here. Yeah. So, they have a shout. No, I like vocals to be a little bit shouty. Say for example, I'm listening to Nina. Any of you guys know Nina? Filipina Nina. Um, so when they belt, you don't want to hear the belt and just relaxing. When they belt, you want to feel the energy. So that's why I like a little bit of shout in there, because belts are supposed to be powerful. Um, and that's a common mistake in mastering. Like they tone down the energy of the belt. Celine Dion's recordings are really good. Like they are shouty because it's intended to be powerful. Some of the modern mixings, they kind of like tone down the belt. Maybe it's also a problem with how they recorded it, like the microphone they're using, and it just clips, and so that's why they lower the gain down. But no, that's my point. But yeah, overall, it's really nice. Where was I? Right. Let's try get lucky in here. Oh my god, I'm 3 minutes left. The bass actually has like there's not a lot of sub bass, but there's really nice. Um, let's see. Over ears are so cursed. I really don't understand the hype. They clamp my ears and feel uncomfortable for me, but some. So they don't really. These ones here have a very gentle clamp force. They clamp, but it's not really. I also don't do a lot of over ears. But these have very gentle clamp force. Is it ideal? I don't really. That's the thing here. This sounds good, but I can't find a use case. How do I like? When do I listen to them? You know, um, because if you live in a metro city, like for example, if I lived in Japan, um, people like all the people on the train, 99%, they're wearing Bluetooth headsets. Sometimes I see Sony's and headphones, but most of the time, people are wearing Bluetooth TWSs. So the more you climb, the more bass you have. Yep, definitely. Yeah, that's fair. Um, but you're right. I can't find a use case to with this one here. Earbuds though, like I know there are cons on earbuds, but at least I can use them to sleep. I don't want to listen to earphones IMs sleeping because I just because I'm a side sleeper, you know, and it's easier for me to wear earbuds. They sound more open, they sound more natural. But yeah. You know what? These are very close to my K64s. Um Super Reviews has K64, right? So K64 is like this. A very neutral sounding set actually. Oh really? Yeah, I know. They leak a lot. Yeah, thanks you for telling me that. They leak a lot. Oh really? Oh. Oh, I stopped it. Um yeah, thanks for letting me know that though. They leak a lot. Dang. And so again, yeah, they sound good. I just don't find any use case. Like when do I use them? I don't know. Could be for mixing, but mixing, man, it's better to use headphones because you don't want to get tricked with, you know. I don't know. These are nice though, but it's just that why would you buy it in the first place? That's all I want to know. Like why? Time is up. Yep, 10 minutes is up. All right, let's move on to the fun part. IEMs, right? IEMs. All right, where do I start though? Do I start with I'll start with a Cozoy D1. Where is it though? I'm pretty sure it's just here. Oh man, where did I put them? I'm pretty sure it's just here. I craft them. There's too many. Ah, I know it's purple. Oh, okay. I know they look like purple. Purple. There it is. Yeah, they're purple. Purple. And then ear tips. What about the ear tips here? What ear tip do I want to? Okay, I'll just use the Venus Velvet. So the Cozoy D1. It's there. This one in here. How much are these? I think budget $30. How much are these? Why? $30, yeah. Very nice, but very, I don't know, man. Like they look like tipsy shells. Have you seen tipsies? The thing about the tipsy audio is they just gained popularity now in chi-fi, but I've seen those tipsies in Japan. They do a lot of collabs there with Japanese. So yeah. Tipsy. I don't know who, but it's all about money there. And And the rep from EPZ contacted me to do this. He used to be a rep from the EPZ, and then he said like, "Hey brother, I just moved to a different company, and you wanna try these IMs?" And yeah, so we have the not tipsy, Cozoy. I don't even know why it's called Cozoy. Okay, let's see if they have a, Cozoy. Let's see if they have a website. Oh, they have a website. Okay, let's read this together. Okay, because I really like how they made their company. Wait. Is this the home products? Like about them, like what's their brand? Okay. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Kozoy was incorporated in 2014 with a simple vision to strive for ultimate sonic reproduction and functionality. Okay. Our designs are crafted with selected metals and components fusing with leading designs. Okay, so it's like more of like design or something? Drivers. Why do they have drivers? So they're more of like I'm not sure if it's the same company though, but let me see if it's really the same. It could be Cozoy Hi-Fi. This should be it. There's Cozoy Audio and Cozoy Hi-Fi. There we go. Yeah, about us. Alright. Pure sound, real emotion. Okay. But why Cozoy though? Okay, so there's our story. This should be the one. Okay, so founded in 2005 by a passionate team lead by Mr. Go, very common Chinese name or last name. Kozoy is dedicated to bringing up true high-fidelity sound to music lovers around the world. Our mission is simple: provide audiophiles with earphones that deliver pure immersive sound while offering comfort and style. Audio technology in Shenzhen. Our mission. Okay. Yeah, very generic though. Very generic. It's so easy. I've heard it's so easy to make a company in Japan, in China. So very generic one. I feel like they have like they just go to what's this one here? Man, I'm talking a lot. Let's just go to music. All right, Fit. Oh, hello there. Hello there, Ren. Cozoy D1. Alright. Cozoy. And you know what? I'm just gonna pull up my squig in here. Why Cozoy though? Like, I don't know. So, ooh, there's a Nicehck Tears in there. Alright, so this is how it graphs, okay? This is like EW 300, 200-ish. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like that. See that? So I'm expecting a little bit of peak in here, 5K. Some of you might not be sensitive to that. I am not so sensitive. I can be, but not so much. All right, let's try. Oh, start 10 minutes. I only have 10 minutes to do this, all right? So, Unwell by Matchbox 20. Here we go. Ooh, that's loud. Sorry about that. This is nice. These are nice. Yeah, these are nice. Like generic nice sounding set. Definitely balanced. There's a little bit of 5K peak in there. All right, let's try Under My Umbrella. There's just enough balance of everything. Yeah, so it's like balance with some emphasis here around the upper mids to treble. So bringing this down would really help a lot. Because looking at the content, I'm not promoting the content, but look at that. The content is just, content is just tuned better. You know what I mean? It's like for $10, right? But so far, these are like technically these are more natural sounding treble than the content, though. In a bright way. Okay, let's try playing God in here. There's really not a lot of bass impact. And you can see it in there around this area. They're not bright or bass light by any means, but it's just upper mid tilted, you know, like there's just energy in here. So these are good for people who play guitars. Oh, okay, wow, that's some nice rumble in there. Okay. Okay. So people who play guitars, practice using the guitars, these are definitely great because there are boosted harmonics. So around this area in here, um why are boosted harmonics important? Because if you're into Polyphia and if you've ever played or covered a Polyphia track, you would be surprised how many harmonics Tim can do in 5 seconds. What I mean by harmonics is how do I even explain it? It's like you play guitars, it's just harmonics in the guitars. It's a technique. You kind of like touch the string a little bit and pluck it together and release, and it creates that ding. My volume is quite. Oh, sorry about that. Let me just. You know what? Let me just blast this. Not really blast, but how about that? Is it better? You know what? I'm just gonna go to Mauno. I kind of like I always adjust this one here because when I use my camera, hopefully this is okay. There we go. That should be fine. Or maybe it's, yeah, that should be fine though. This should be better, yeah. Where was I? Okay. Hey Duke, you're here. Cozoy D1. You know what? I'm more excited about the Kefine SV and the Tears. Okay, let's try. What do I try here? Oh, the invitation. Urban Dub, Urban Dub, an invitation. It's my new test track for cymbals. This has very forward cymbals, annoyingly forward. So this is my if the cymbals sound unbearingly bad, that means the treble is not good. An invitation by Urban Dub. However, the thing I like about this track is the cymbals are so well bodied. It's just, I don't know, like the mic is placed too close to the hi-hats. They're very forward, but at the same time also very detailed, and so yeah, these are definitely all right. I'm gonna try the worst here. Just checking how the placements are with the instruments. And yeah, Ren, let me know about my volume if it's good. Listening now. Oh, you have the Guangxi. How's the Guangxi though? Let me check the graph on the Guangxi. Ooh, these are nice detail retrieval, dude. Oh, okay. 4K peak. That's interesting. Let me know about the volume, guys, if it's already enough. If not, I may need to change something in here. So if you want details, definitely this is the one to these have very good sub bass actually, like very so these so definitely this is like a U-shape, V-shape kind of sound, really colored sound. Okay, here's wow, very nice proportion actually. So the cymbals are not so near. These are nice, man. Yeah. Oh, why did I go back in there? So these are definitely a very nice set. Um, I really like the stage on this one here. This stage is really good though. I have 1 minute more, by the way. 1 minute more. But the thing is, how much are these again? Cozoy D1, $30, right? So it should fall under my like sub $60, right? This one here is sub 20, man. Sub 20. So sub 60, if you have to spend $60, there's the clean, there's the zenith. I don't even know if, but these are really good though. I feel like this has better stage than the clean. The original clean. Yeah. The thing that I like about the Cozoy D1 is it doesn't really have a peak after 10K. It just has some energy in there and done. If I can, the peak at 4K, 5K is easily fixable anyway. I just one filter of PEQ and done. Or I can also put a filter in here and it should be done. All right, yeah. Oh, done with my impressions. Cozy D1, this is nice. This is promising. But I just don't know how it fares. Like there's SM100. I also don't have a lot of sets in there. So, but these are good for $30. I can definitely put this in here though, but I don't know. Maybe for honorable mentions for now. So which one do you guys want me to do first? Do you want me to do the clean SV first or the Tears? Clean SV is a little more expensive. Tears? Okay. All right, let's do the Tears then. Okay, so here, Tears is here. Build quality though, they're a little bit meh, really meh build quality. It's plastic. It's not even resin, it's plastic. Or I don't know. Is it resin? Dude, it's plastic. It's like Gundam plastic or something. So could be good, could be bad, but and the cable, is it none? Yeah. And so yeah, it's good because the cable actually also has like positive and negative. Not sure if that will help, but cable is okay. These are like $20, I think, $25 or something, but yeah, the cable is just okay. But I'd choose this over the KZ cable. Yeah, definitely. You can't really complain for the price, right? So, dude, the graph of this one in here is crazy, crazy. Nice. Look at that. Like, look at that. It's like, dang. And you know what? Like, that is perfect matching over there. Like, dude, look at that. Like, very few differences. Like, whew. Perfect match, dude. Perfect channel matching. Alright, fit is... Is this open back style? Really? It does feel like open back though. Like, I can see the drivers... Like, at the back, you can see there's some grills. I don't know if you can see that, but there are grills in there. And it... When you... Okay, so when you hear them, you do feel that it's not fully sealed. Huh? Wait, like... You just feel that it's not fully sealed. You know what I mean? Alright. So... Side graph with Guangxi? No, the Guangxi has a 4K peak. Okay, Guangxi Tone Deaf Monk. Alright, so what I do here is I go to... Nicehck Tears. Yeah, that's how it looks like side by side with Guangxi. So very different peaks overall. 4K peak. This 4K peak here, I'm a little bit worried because it's almost in the 5K. The Guangxi might have more details pushed. Okay, so some harmonics in there. I prefer this one in here actually because that's very close to my target. And my target is really not like fixed like this. It's just that when I do the dotted line and do it in what website is that, just to make graphs, it just adds a little bit of dB or something, but anything that's close to this should be my target. It's really not that fixed. Okay, let's just start in here. 10 minutes for this one here. Unwell by Matchbox 20. Right off the bat, man. Yeah. This is... Wow. So you hear this a little bit, actually. Okay, detail retrieval is not so... It's okay. Bass is enough. Okay, let's try IU High Spring Buy-in here. Okay. It's nice, yeah. It has a it's weird. It has a warmer to it has a warmer tilt, but the treble is a little bit thin. Okay, let's Under My Umbrella by Incubus. Now, okay. The graph looks really good, but on listening, they feel like they're over dampened. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there are filters to mitigate the peak in here, because you can see that residual bump in there. I know you can't complain too much, I know. But this is in relationship to the content, by the way. That thing is the one to beat, because the tonality on the content is just. But again, the tonality on the content is nice, but the treble is just unrefined. Okay, how about let's try okay, I'm gonna try Get Lucky in here. Okay, so again, this is like it's a warm sound. And I'm pretty sure this is my listening impression is a little bit biased, because the previous set was a little bit brighter. The Cozoy D1 was a little bit brighter in this area. So I feel like it may not have a lot of details, because the previous one had more of it, if that makes sense. But so far, this is it. So the graph does not really suggest. So this is very close to the zenith, right? This is very close to the zenith. Look at that. It's just, and then if I have the zenith. Let me just get the zenith. It doesn't. The zenith, although the zenith does not have a peak past 10K, I feel like the zenith has more clarity. Okay, it just has more clarity. Man, I hate this cable. Come on, KZ. I really hate this cable. Okay. I'm just really curious, because I could be wrong, but... Exactly. So, yeah, so again, this is, you can test this. Like, I'm gonna give you an IM. If you have the Zenith and you have the Tears, these are very, very close sounding sets. Looking at the graph, just looking at the graph, it would say that, yeah, the Tears probably has a little more detail because it has a peak at 10K. But it says otherwise. The Zenith, it just has that clarity. I'm pretty sure it's the driver too, you know? Like, they have to compromise. They have to compromise in here. This is priced $25 or something. Like even it's in China, it's like $13, right? The driver, dude, it has to be cheaper than that. I don't even know how much. $1 or two, plus the cable and everything, plus labor. Okay. So I feel like the driver on this is like a very bad driver, tuned well, but can't perform because okay, so this is how it is with driver and tuning. The philosophy of driver and tuning. So driver first, and then you tune the driver to its maximum capability. You may have a tuning in mind, so you have a tuning in mind, and you find a driver that would fit that profile. Because, say for example, let's just say for example, what do we have here? Let's just say, I don't know, TRN Rose Finch. MT1 Max. Okay, I don't know. Dumpling. Man, these are very weird looking graphs, right? Little Q. Can't really. Can't find a good example here. Do I'm looking for okay, I know. I have the Let Sure singer. Just say for example, for the heck, okay, just this one here, okay. Remove that. Let just say for example, let me pause this first. This is unfair. Just say for example, the stock tuning of the Tears is this one in here. Okay. It's cheap, it's a cheap driver, but this one in here, and because you want the tuning to be like the Tears, and so you dampen that driver a lot just to achieve this kind of sound. Okay. Now that won't work because the driver was not intended to perform that way. Okay. So, and that's why there are still companies that tune by ear. What I mean by that is, yeah, they graph it, but they tune by ear because they want to know, I don't know, like they tune depending on the driver capabilities. If that makes sense. And I know it doesn't make sense in like the current hobby we're in because we are more graph focused now. And understand, I still I still suggest people learn to read graphs, but you've heard people saying graphs are not all, okay? Graphs are not all because sometimes like good looking graphs like this, they don't really sound as good as I expected them to be, and who knows, man, this freaking Let Sure singer, someone might like this. Okay, my point is the Tears, I feel like they're a little bit over dampened. It's a very cheap driver. I can tell. I was actually very excited for this. Yeah, but all right, let's play Playing God by Polyphia in here. Yeah. Oh, do you have the Tears, Ren? You have the Tears? I know. Yeah, that's also a factor. And I don't even know what we're doing here. But that's the thing about the hobby, dude. It's really that um the thing about the hobby is like you gain people that you want to talk to and you accept the differences, and that what makes the hobby beautiful. When you start to accept differences, it makes the hobby more exciting because when you accept differences, you kind of like look at, wow, really? Why do you like that? Instead of like, nah, you have superior ears, or no, you haven't heard of a lot of IMs. That kind of like mentality becomes toxic. The hobby becomes fun when you start to accept that everyone has different, perspective and different preferences, and you start to, just like friends, dude. Like your friends, I'm pretty sure your friends, you don't agree with your close friends, and you just make fun of them why your friends like this and why your friends don't like this and stuff like that. But it's all good. That makes friendship very beautiful, and just because of the acceptance. Where was I? So, yeah, I probably say no. No to the tears. Oh man. Uh, a little bit disappointed. Really disappointed. But hey, I'm a, I just really had high expectations about the tears, and you know, just because of the graph. And I'm really trying to be honest in here, because sometimes, and I'm actually like, before I used to do listening first and then graph, right? The way I did that is because I don't wanna have a visual bias, like just because I saw the graph, and then I might say like, yeah, these are very good. This is like following my target. These are very good. So I didn't want to have that bias, but it's just very time consuming when doing live streams. Like I graph and I keep quiet, and you guys are painfully waiting. So I graph it first, and I have very high expectations, and I was already aware that, oh my god, I'm gonna have this bias of liking it, but I guess I've improved. I kind of like know that nope, it's not just graphs. It's not just graphs. And I'm disappointed about the sound, and I'm happy at the same time because I'm able to say no, this doesn't sound good. Oop. Okay, we have the SV in here. There are different nozzles, and what nozzles do I have? Is it the black, the silver? I think I have the silver. Man, this is gonna be long. We're gonna be testing all nozzles in here. But, man, like, so I have the silver, I have the gold, which is, yeah, and I have the black. The black looks fun. Black looks like, should I do black first? This one looks like, meta gain. No? This is very meta. Look at this. Daybreak. Boom. No? Yeah. I think it's a very meta gain. This is really look at that. What the hell? Yeah, the graph is a very good indication though. Like it's very good indication to, like, it's like a filter. And graph is freaking science, man. It's just, you know. And you know what? Guys, okay. So if you think you're gonna be in the hobby for long, I suggest you buy a coupler. Yeah. Especially if you're buying stuff like you're already reaching like Summit Fire or something, you just buy a coupler because there are going to be QC issues. This is just saving your cash just so that you have an objective data to prove to the company like, hey, this has a very bad channel matching. And there are IMs that is gonna be, you know, badly channel matched, and that's just the way it is. You know what? I'm just gonna do the silver for now. I know the black looks really nice, but I'm just gonna do the silver stock first, and then let's go from there. All right, Kefine SV. How much are these? Kefine Klean SV price $45. They are around the same price as the clean. Build should be the same. I dig the color though. I think I like the silver better. So this is the silver nozzles in here. There. So let me remove the Daybreak. All right. Silver nozzle. Let's try Unwell by Matchbox. 20. Okay. It's less bassy than the original. Definitely it's less bassy. And you hear that peak in here. You hear this peak. So I'm just scratching hairs in here, dude. Like, ooh, nice. Man, these are peaky, dude. These are peaky. I know it's because it doesn't have a lot of bass to compensate it. So if I compare it to the clean, where's the clean? The clean has more bass. I'm confused now. Yeah, so let me pause. Should I pause? No, I don't need to pause. Now look at this in here. So the clean does not really have that very high peak in there. And then it has, a peak in there is a peak, okay? I could feel that peak in there with the clean. But it just has that very nice bass in there to compensate some peaks in there. With the SV, it has a lesser bass. And dude, like that peak in there is almost as high as the gain. And I can hear that. And I don't like it. I mean, I don't like it in a way that, why this change? You know, like why did they opt to go to this kind of change? Like, what did they want to correct with the original clean? That was already good. Like technically the clean OG was already good, and I don't see the reason why they would increase peaks in there. And you know, peaks are inherent to the driver and their position, and the diaphragm position. It's just the internal structure overall. You can remove the peak. Definitely you can do that, but it's gonna change the tuning. But anyhow, it's all about pressure levels all about pressure, okay? So the diaphragm moves up and down. It's all about pressure. The direction where it's going relative to the ear, and this one here, it's the mic. So it's like the number of cycles. It just means that the driver becomes really, really unstable past 10K. And it's not good. It's people might say this is extension. This is not. This is a flaw. This is just a physicality, a limitation to the driver. It's a flaw. And these peaks in here, the sharper they are, the harder they are to, the sharper they are, the harder they are to get fixed. You know. I don't even know if I can target that with PQ, but yeah, these are very, At least with the silver nozzle, okay? At least with a silver nozzle. Let's try under my umbrella in here. Very, very trebly, man. So I don't think I can listen to this more. So I'm gonna change it to the black nozzles. They're not fun to listen to when this like black looks good. Is it? Or yeah, I mean, really? How about the gold? No, I think black. Yeah, because the black in there has more bass, so I hope that will compensate more. So black nozzles it is. I'm not sure. Should I change it to the gold though? I don't think there's a lot of change. No, it's just probably way brighter. All right, let's see here. Oh, Adam, yeah. Let me know if you need with you know, with your coupler. If you need help with it. All right. Yeah, for now, maybe the D1's still good though. D1's nice. Yeah, I don't mind that 5K peak in there. It's shouty, but definitely it's All right, so I have the black filters in here. Let's see. Under my umbrella. Definitely better. It's black is the way to go in here. So let me remove the silver, the gold. So it's really just about okay, Playing God by Polyphia. Okay, so the peak though, dude. These are detailed though, like very edgy, very sharp in attack, because there's a very sharp peak in there. It's definitely the black. The black one is the way to go. Forget about the other nozzle filters. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. The worst by Polyphia. Let me try this. So the bass is definitely better. I feel like the gain is more correct. But man, that peak in there though, it's really But these are very detailed, man. Like these are probably more detailed, but compared to the original clean. And these are more airier. And of course, you can see there the treble peak, right? These are definitely airier, dude. Yeah. But it's all fun and game until cymbal starts hitting. Let's see here. They're not bad, actually. The black filter does really fix a lot. Yeah. Very treble forward. So very treble forward set. How about Get Lucky? Let me try here. You will have questions about it. Do you already have a dongle that you want to use? If you have any dongles in there, buy a 3.5 through 3.5. What else do you need? A splitter if you were gonna, or if you're planning to use just one dongle, buy a splitter. I have 30 seconds more on this one here. Oh man, I can't. Okay. Four, three, two, one. All right. All right. Done with the SV. Okay, what do you think about the SV? They're fine. They're trebly. They're trebly. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I have a dongle, have a splitter, got Rue, just waiting for the coupler. Okay, you got things covered. And I think I did a live stream on how to make measurements, so you can look that up. Yeah, man, the peak though, like that is a very sharp peak. It's a very sharp peak. It's not details. Like you can have I hear details with the freaking Zenith without peaks, man. Like what are you talking about? Like I hear details even without peaks in there, you know. And like the volume S, like you hear enough details with the volume S. Like really. I mean Ren has the volume S. You hear enough details there. I mean I bought the Rockies, but I kind of like regret the Rockies though. It's a little bit trebly elevated, but I don't know. I just really like the ESTs. I just really like the ESTs. They hit differently in the treble. It's like wet treble. So what I think about the Kefine. Okay. I just realized something. I was just like listening and making reviews, and I was wondering, and then I checked my like on YouTube Studio, you can see your demographics, like how many people, like what age they're, like they're watching, and this is just a theory, okay? This is a theory. So I feel like, and we all understand that high frequency is all related to age, and the more we age, the lesser, we can't hear past 15K or something. And the older you are, you kind of like lean more into brighter sets. Agree with that, okay? That's the foundation in there. The older you are, and the older you are, the less you are to perceive high frequencies. And so you like brighter sets, right? In order to prove that it's hi-fi, because this is chi-fi, right? It's more about fidelity, and there's this false marketing about earphones or IEMs having more details when there's more treble. It's still going on, like people still associate details with treble, and it's going on. And we all know we are in the hobby, we know that it's not correct, but there are a lot of beginning hobbyists that tend to fall in that kind of trap. So moving back to the foundation, that as we age, we kind of like develop this, not develop, but we hear less. Now goes to business, okay? IM manufacturers, it's a business, okay? And they have to live, they have to earn, because it's business, all right? And if it's a business, you have to have a target market. Just as the nature, man. Your target, what's your target? What's your target market? Of course, people who love music. That's one. What else? What's the demographic? Okay. If I have to sell this much, who am I targeting? Of course, audiophiles. And I think I think this is just me. If I were to do a business, I would target earphones, maybe midlife people around 30s to 50s. Why? Because they can afford. Eh, what college students, do you think you can tell your friends like high school, hey, buy a $300? No. No, you can't afford that. So, midlife people, maybe probably 30 to 50s because they can afford. Maybe they have a family, but they have savings. They can afford to buy it. Now, that kind of demographic, we start to have some hearing loss in there, admit it or not. We just do, and it's not bad. It's just the way it is, you know. And again, your ears are not better than mine. It's just, eventually I will have, like I can't hear past 15K peak, which is nice, and then my preferences change. So, and you know what I'm going for, and so that's why we see a lot of IEMs in here, like saying, yeah, these are bright, and I'm part of that. I'm saying bright, but I'm kind of like I don't see the bigger picture in here, because in the first place, I may not be the target market for that, and we have to respect those business. It's a business, man. It's number one rule in business: target market. What is your and there's nothing bad about target market. That is your life and blood. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like uh, what, like stethoscope. Why would you sell a stethoscope to an engineer? Number one rule in business: target market. What is your target market? 14, that's not bad. That's definitely not bad. And there's nothing wrong if you can't hear past 10K peak, because again, all of this is all about you. It's all about you liking the set or not. If it's something bright, then maybe I'm not the demographic that company is looking for. You know what I mean? And dude, China, it's very big. We know that, we may think that when they're releasing the sets, it's only the West that they're selling to. No. They're selling it to China as well, And Asia, Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, India. Dude, it's a very big market. Have you ever seen like Indian YouTubers? Like, they have so many subscribers and so many views. Asia, man, like we think that it's very different. It's very different. We're not seeing the big picture here. So yeah, so much about my ranting. Exactly. Moondrop and Sanshim. It's the market. Waifu art. Like, they don't care if it sounds bad. They just want buy the waifu. You know? Shanling and Shanling and Tanshim, like they always do that with their daps. Like the Asano, they put Asano there at the back plate, and they sell it hotcakes. They did that with the N3X too, like 5 years ago, and it sold like hotcakes. It's crazy, and it's fandom, dude. Fandom culture, it's very big. Like when I was in Japan. So maybe you call it weeb culture. It's called otaku culture in Japan. Like, you can say whatever you want about the culture. The businesses doing that target demographic, they're rich because those people just buy. Like, no questions. They just buy. It's crazy, I know, but they just buy. Exactly. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, it's exactly. It's a big audio, exactly. Because again, and so it looks like, so there's a trend in here. So chi-fi and then the general public, right? Let's be real also in here. This kind of like hobby, like the IM hi-fi, it's very, very small. It is very, very small. Um, it's a niche. It's a niche, and so most of the people are still in that bass category. You know, you like bass. And it's even true when you go into hi-fi, dude. Like, bad guy, good audio, bass. People just like bass. You know. Um, People just like bass. That's a lot of demographic for people who like bass. Because again, especially in like when people enter into the hobby, they're younger. So if they're younger, they can afford, and that's why the content blew up, dude. That's why the content blew up. Content is freaking cheap. It has bass. It's good tonality. You know, it's a perfect. The content is it's a perfect mix. It's a perfect storm. What I mean by that is like all of the ingredients just fit with the content. So it's tuned well. The driver is not bad. They say it's the driver from the Zenith, although the treble but no one can complain about it. There's nothing like, there's no sudden peaks past 10K. It's just everything. There's a mix of everything. People can afford it. People who are beginning hobbyists can afford it. GK doesn't care if we audiophiles think like, yeah, the content is only in that price range. They don't care. They're earning. They're it's business anyway. So right, exactly. It's a debate. It's really a debate if it's treble versus details. Um but yeah, that's the thing about this hobby. It's, you know, we get to talk about something, and I don't even know if it's worth talking about. Because sometimes we watch videos just of course it's you know, to get better informed decision, and but sometimes people watch videos um to make them feel better about their purchase, you know. Uh, you know, um but it's always like that, you know. It's always like that in the hobby, you know, like any hobby that you're into. So yeah, Kefine SV. I don't know. I feel like I still prefer the D1 though. Is good. D1 is good. I'm gonna put that in here. Yeah, D1 is good. The driver is good on the D1. It feels like it's not being forced. So yeah, and it doesn't really have a lot of like, yeah, it's just nice. The D1 is nice. So even if the put there the black filter, so that much of a difference, but yeah, but it really depends, man. Like the D1 is good. It seems like the driver is just flows effortlessly. So that's what I think. I know it is a discovery. That's one of my dreams, you know, opening up an audio store. I know where, but you know, it's just nice. Exactly, man. I'm guilty of that. It shouldn't even exist. The thing about the IM world is, um, most, and I say most of the words that are being used in earphone, they are mostly borrowed from the mixing side of things. It's mixing. It's all about mixing because they all come from headphones, okay? They all come from headphones, and they all come from speakers, from studio monitors, okay? When you mix something, the monitors, like the transients, it's all mixing stuff. Transients, attack, soundstage, it's all about from the mixing perspective. And so the headphone reviewers kind of like borrowed that kind of like perspective from mixers. Bass decay, dude, it's so mixing. It's about mixing. I can't tell you that it's very mixing. Heavy mixing words. What else? Transit, technicality, soundstage, separation, imaging, all mixing. Okay, these are all terms for mixing, and no one even talks about an IEM in a musical way. What I mean by that is IEM. It means in-ear monitors. In-ear monitors. It's supposed to replace the monitors on stage, because when you do monitors on stage, you're gonna do volume wars. You don't understand this if you don't play on stage, okay? Volume wars is you increase your own volume competing with your bandmates because you can't hear yourself. And that's why there's a monitor in there. But it becomes better if you have your in-ear monitor, and so you can hear yourself better, and so you're in right timing, okay? But people don't understand it. People don't talk about that. And we're supposed to talk about that because we're talking about IEMs, in-ear monitors. And that's why I talk about it in my videos. I play drums, at least. I don't play on stage, but this should be the best way to review in-ear monitors. Not about the sound. I mean, yeah, of course, the sound helps. But, like, the thing about in-ear monitors is the V-shaped ones are actually the ones that are usable on stage for monitors. You don't bring an earphone or an IEM that are tuned neutral. No, you don't do that. You can't hear yourself. You need bass. You need mid bass to hear yourself. There's so much noise going on. You know, there's crowd cheering. You hear the drums, and like if you're near the drummers, the cymbals are gonna leak in your. You just need V-shaped IEMs on stage. Period. If it's not V-shaped, at least it's U-shaped or something. Elevated bass, mid bass, to be exact. No sub bass. You don't hear sub bass. You feel sub bass. You don't need sub bass on stage. You need mid bass for the rhythm, fundamentals. It's important, and you need a little bit of elevation there around the presence. So yeah, but that's what we're going to, Yes, exactly. Click tracks. Exactly, click tracks. As a drummer, and that's why I said it's there. The presence has to be elevated for me as a drummer, because if there's like, and you know what, like, let's see here. Let's just say, I don't know. Mega 7. Yeah, Mega 7. Say for example, a Mega 7, like it has really, I don't know, like a tuck here. This is gonna be drowned. Like, yeah, like during playing, I feel like it's a little bit hard for me to listen to maybe I can hear it because there's not a lot of mid bass, but you want to have the D1. Okay, the D1 that I just reviewed now, this is a perfect example for a stage monitor. Yeah, this is the perfect stage monitor that I'm talking about. Like a little bit of elevation there in the gain, some elevation here for the presence to hear the click track, some bass, although I would want probably a little bit meatier maybe around here, and that's it. This is a perfect example for an IEM. Exactly, exactly. That is true, dude. That is true. Exactly. I've been talking about this before as well. I've been talking about this before as well. If we want to talk about IEMs, like real IEMs for music and for stage, first thing is fit, okay? First thing is fit. And so like that's why musicians, professional musicians on stage, they usually have costumes because this isolation is the number one thing that you have to consider. After the isolation, it's the impedance. High impedance. Dude, like if you have an IM, like I don't know, with high impedance, you're gonna have problems with volume in the mixer, exactly. But people don't talk about this. People talk IEMs like it's a speaker, like they're intended for mixing. This is definitely what we're going for, which is it needs a little bit of correction because we have to take into the take into account that IEMs, there may be musicians listening and they listen to you and they say like, "Oh, this might be good." And when they go there on stage, dang, I can't hear myself. Exactly. So the impedance is really really important. 16 ohm is the best. Um I don't care if I hear hiss. It's noisy anyway on stage. You don't want to it's I don't care if I hear hiss. Um but then we have created this subculture of IEMs for monitoring. For Yeah, you can do that. You can monitor like when if you're doing live monitoring, headphones are still okay. IEMs are good because they seal well. For live monitoring, IEMs are good. um um but for mixing, I mean, like, yeah, maybe you can do that too, but preferably speakers. Some people do headphones, but it's a personal thing. We are just going into this kind of direction, and I'm guilty of that. I should talk more about how they're used for stage, but I'm also limited because I don't play on stage anymore. And so I just use my electronic drum kit at the back of my room and just to play something in there. I should include though, like when I attach that, because there are IEMs that have high impedance. I need to turn the volume up, so that could be a useful information for people who play on stage. Because if the IM has high impedance, it's not gonna do any good on stage. So you have to have a very very good what's this, low impedance, because in the mixer, when they do the EQ, they want to make sure it's not gonna clip. So at least there's a very big headroom for volume. Just like doing an EQ, right? When you do PEQ, usually there's a like a preamp um that makes the volume lower because you've made changes. Exactly, that's the reason why the mixer exists. So yeah. So wow, that's all for now, guys. I guess I have a lot of exactly. Hey, Misk, you know a lot. Do you have background on stage or something? You know a lot, dude. And I've always appreciate your input. Sometimes when you make comments, like you seem to be very uh knowledgeable about audio. It's very very true. They are not for monitors, exactly. Um yeah, they are not. They are not. They change, exactly. They change. And mixing sources or mixers on stage, they don't freaking care about his. Like, that's the last thing they want to do. All they want to do is to have a very good, you know, I don't know. Like, it's not like DAP. They're not focusing on DAP wherein there's no noise, or they don't care about that. Um And so that's why they really have those high impedance values, and it does change. Exactly, that is true. And you know what? You don't want to put impedance adapters in your earphone. If you do put impedance adapters, it's gonna be hard for the mixer to boost your volume, man. Like you're gonna be like, I can't hear myself, and then the mixer's like, I'm already full blast. I'm like, I can't hear myself because you put a freaking impedance adapter. That's nonsense. But you're right, man. You are freaking right. Yeah. So, do, but there are IEMs that doesn't change, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure they've kind of like figured that like we just don't have that kind of community, because again, all of this community, we're heading towards the mixing, listening kind of stuff. No one's talking about like the musicians and how this one is used. No one's talked about that. I'm waiting for the time when actually someone's gonna talk about that. Dave is probably the closest person who can do that. Dave from Audio In. I think he used to play on stage. He still plays on stage now, I guess. Some gigs or something. He's probably the one who can talk more about like just in the reviewer space. Dave is probably, I trust Dave's ears. He's a musician, dude. Like, and he knows a lot. And I can't find other reviewers who have background in music. Just no one. Like, no one. Dave deserves a lot of sub. Well, you've looked at a lot of stuff. Which is good. Yeah. But yeah, I still advocate. I'm not against the trend on the hobby, but I just also want to inform people that, hey, IEMs, in-ear monitors, they're supposed to be monitors, and but you don't want to go against the tide, right? We're going into this kind of direction, and sometimes I let people know. At first I was like, I really liked treble at first, especially when I tried the Annihilator. Because, like, wow, hi-fi, $5,000, $2,000 IEM. This is very well extended treble. So I was one of those people who liked that kind of treble until I started playing instruments again. And I realized, like, man, like, I don't... So my first impression of the Annihilator was really good. And then I heard it again from Tim, and I was like, why did I like this? Like, these are not natural sounding. But yeah, again, demographics, dude. Like, you don't expect a college student to buy a $2,000 IEM. Who is able to buy that? 30 to 50 years old demographic. And you want that? Treble. Have you seen... Okay, give me... Okay, comment down below. Give me... Yeah... Professionally, though, it's more like for a gig for me, for fun when I was in college. Not professionally though. I'm not like pro level or something, but I have some knowledge about it. Yeah. Let's see. What was I? Oh yeah. So give me an IM. Comment down below. What's this one here? $1,000 IM. So kilobuck IM. Give me a kilobuck IM, and let's look at the trend in here. Most of the time, they have extended past 10K. Okay, let's start with the Monarchs. You wouldn't see a past sub-dollar IM that has a very relaxed treble. Like, what I mean by relaxed treble is like volume S. Okay. Like volume S treble is like very low in there, right? So like this. You don't Lumen, dude. I'm so excited about the Lumen. Lumen is an exception. Let's talk about Lumen next time. But let's say Monarchs. Did I spell it right? Let's start with the Monarchs. Who do I use? Monarchs. Yeah, let's try Mark's squig in here. So some elevation in there with the Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4. Oh, dude, really? That is, yeah. Oracle, there's just bang. Okay, because again, like, you know my point. My point is like demographic. You know, you have to sell it to people who can afford it. Oh, sorry about that. Oh yeah. There we go. Oops, where was I? No. So just saying that, like, most of the time they have like extended treble past 10K in there, and if you compare it to the volume S, it's actually a little bit lower, like very low. Look, the volume S is here, like really low, and most of that is like just boosted. Okay, just boosted in there. I'm not saying there's something wrong about this. It's just that the demographic, they're trying to sell these to people who can afford, and apparently people who can afford are you can afford this when we get older, right? That's just the nature of it. So here we are, like complaining, like, yeah, they did this, they boost or something. We don't even know the story, dude. You know? If they lower down the treble in there, okay, this is how it happens, okay? Again, because it is business, right? Let's say, for example, high-end, okay? High-end audio, $3,000 IM. And they tune it, 3,000, okay? 3,000. And they tune it like, volume S. They tune it like volume S. How many old people do you think they're gonna return this? I'm... Who can afford a $3,000 IM, dude? 40 years old, and you know, and they listen to the volume S. I am pretty sure they're gonna say like, nah, this is not worth. This is not worth, you know. And there's this a hard thing to balance in companies, you know, like because the first thing is like a lot of reviewers are young and they say like, oh my god, it's so bright. But you know. Oh yeah, James is the vice president. He holds shares. Yeah, James he's a vice president in North America. Yep, that's true. He did professional audio. Yep, he did professional audio. Recording, and so yeah, mixing like that. Exactly. But there's nothing bad about that. There's really nothing bad about that. And I feel like I need to include that in my review. I feel like I need to include that in my review because the price range, the price says a lot, you know? And there's nothing to be ashamed of really because again, this is a hobby and there's so many options, you know? And just imagine, okay, just imagine this. If all manufacturer tuned to Harman, or I don't know, tuned to super reviews with this kind of treble. And as you get older, music starts to become bad because no company would release an earphone with extended treble because they're afraid that they may get backlash, which is stupid, right? Which is stupid, you know. And that's why we have a lot of options in here actually. And so again, don't like if don't trust reviewers. Don't trust me on this. I'm just talking about like very logical, sensible stuff in here that there are a lot of, and I actually don't, yeah, it's a realization really. I think I don't need to, I think I have to just review it um on face value, and then also being honest about like my listening preferences. And when I say something that it's bright for me, but I may need to put it in a tone wherein, yeah, it's bright for me because I'm young, and maybe not in a tone like, oh, it's bright for me and it's bad. I probably should stop doing that because I know there are people who are gonna like that presentation. But at the same time, it's hard. It's hard to do that stuff, and I like doing live streams like this because I can talk freely, you know, um, just different topics overall. Yeah, I know. There's really, yeah, there's a lot. There's really a lot of things to consider. Like the pure though, like the pure was warm. The pure was warm. It's definitely directed to younger people. Yeah. Definitely younger people. Definitely younger people. And it's a little bit too warm for me. The pure. It's a little bit too warm. The hexa, I still prefer the hexa. A little bit lean. Still good treble. Yeah. And the thing is, like, the thing about the thing about the pure is like I didn't know it was I didn't know listener had like direct influence about the tuning, and I was like ranting. I was ranting and I was ranting on Mark's Discord, and the listener was like, dude, I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. I hope that was an honest impression though. Like that was an honest like it was an honest take. Had I known okay, had I known he had direct influence about the tuning, would I say some things that are a little bit better? Yeah, exactly. Because you know the person, you know, it's just human nature, dude. It's just human nature. But and so I'm glad I didn't know so that I could really tell my honest opinion about it. Because had I known, I would have toned down the I mean, like my impressions probably a little bit better. I don't know. I honestly didn't know, and so that's like I didn't know. Like listener was like, the pure is actually good. I prefer. Okay, I prefer the treb. Okay, how do I say this? So I just hope there was a middle ground on this. I didn't like I like the how do I even start here? Okay, I like the pure EQ. I like the pure EQ compared to like a hexa EQ, because in EQ you want to do reductive EQ rather than boosting, because you know you don't want drivers to clip or you know or something. But I prefer the pure EQ'd. But just stock I prefer the hexa, but I like the implementation better on the treble with the pure. It's a little bit lower in here. I just wish it was a little bit down in here. So Yeah, I think I made a short on that. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And you know what? It's probably not about the marketing anyway. The thing about that is they didn't market it. And so people were assuming that it was an upgrade. They didn't market it. They didn't say anything about it. They could have said like this is not an upgrade. This is like they just release it and then or did they market it? I don't know. I just felt like they didn't really push the narrative that it's not an upgrade. Had they pushed the narrative that it's not an upgrade, people would not expect it to be better. And so the thing about that is so they didn't do anything, and that's why they kind of like failed or something because they didn't say that it's a brother or it's a side grade or something. They could have said that. But yeah, man, I think that's it for today, guys. I am meeting Adam, or is it Adam? Yeah, maybe next week. Yeah, so going snowboarding after this. I love snowboarding, man. I used to skate, but I thought my skills from skating would transition to snowboarding, and so my wife, she snowboard. She like when she started when she was a kid, so she's better than me, of course. And she told me at first like you should go to a lesson at least like a day or two, and I said nah, nah, like stubborn guy, like nah, I'm fine. And so yeah, it was not a fun day for her because we were just in the bunny hill the whole day. Her butt was frozen. Like, when are you gonna come down? The first few seconds was okay. Like I could go because I think the skill on like riding sideways can transition just fine. But fear dawned on me when I realized I didn't know how to stop. And so like, oh man, how do I stop this? With skateboards, you can just jump and do whatever, but it's different with snowboards because your legs are strapped to the board and how to even fall and stuff like that. So, should have listened to her. So, yeah. And I like your sets. I haven't heard of the Martillo. Um, really interesting. I really want to hear that. I'm probably gonna graph that too. I'm gonna bring my laptop, or I don't know, maybe I can borrow it for impressions. But yeah, let's see. Next week I don't have anything coming, so I don't know what I'm gonna do in my live stream. Maybe making targets. I think Ren mentioned about like making targets, so I'm gonna show you how to make targets. But making targets is really just about EQ. So you need to know how to do PEQ, and then you just print screen it, and you know what? I'm just gonna do it. No, you have to know. Say for example, I don't know, like for example, Ren. This is for Ren, right? So let's say for example, he likes the volume S, or I like the volume S. Is volume S in here? Yeah, and I like the volume S, and what you just change it. Say for example, you want, I don't know, you want the mid bass to be lesser, so maybe I put frequency there. I don't know, 200. I want to tuck it. Gain is -2. Q value, 0.7. Maybe like that. No, that's too low. Yeah, maybe like that. You know. So so you have that, the EQ'd one right there. So just to make it sound a little bit cleaner, you click export, and so you have the volume S filters in there. Am I doing it right? And so it's saved, right? It's saved, and you do equalizer upload target. Oh, invalid format. Why is it invalid? It's a text file. Oh, okay. So, maybe FR. Wait. Upload filters. Yeah, it says invalid. I know what's going on, but yeah, I will definitely. Okay, how about for EQ for wavelet though? Let's do that one more time. 200 minus 1, 0.7, and then no, it's not auto EQ though. Yeah, I know you do the screenshot, but you do the screenshot for this. Because when you make a target, you do the screen. I'm just wondering if you could actually. How about if I EQ this for a wavelet? I'm not sure if it's gonna be. Upload FR. No, it won't work. Okay, how about. Okay, wait. How about if I go to Rue? Man, this is gonna be a long process though. If you can only do it in screenshot. Nope, there's a way. I'll show you. There's a way. So I'm gonna import. Where's my? What? Oh, wait. Documents. Oh, dang. Can't find it. Import desktop. So, yeah, you can't. Yeah. So I think you need to do the dot thing. What is that dot thing? I forgot. Forgot the name. Yeah. Oh. So you have to do. Yeah. You cannot really do that. Yep, so you can't. So the only way to do that is actually we go to, what's that name? Oh, damn, I forgot. What's that name? I forgot the name. I'll do that next time. I'll do that next time. I'll do that next week. I'll do that. How are you going to make your own target? So basically, if you did the changes in here, say for example, yeah, 200 and minus 1 and 0.7. You want to do that in red. and screenshot. So that's the first thing you want to do. Screenshot that and do that in red, because I'm gonna teach you how to do that. What? Dang, I can't. I don't even. Forgot. Remind me. Remind me. Um. How to make target curve? What? With no, it's not in Rue, dude. The hell was that website? Yeah, I know it's with Timmy. Yeah, it's this website here. What the hell is this? Or just find this Timmy. Actually, Timmy has it, but he's good at explaining this anyway. I don't know, but yeah, you can look at this website in here. Yeah, I know, I know. I should actually, I know it's a hot take. I should have actually included that too. Because it's, again, it's very personalized, and when people look at my graph, say for example, if I put that something in here, and they would think that, oh, this is like a bright or something. So I should actually stop doing that and just remove the balance target in there, or put Harmon, or I don't know, or neutral, or just really nothing, and just count it through the dB. So 60, and just count whatever it is. But good, yeah, it's a very good. What did Timmy take? But anyhow, yeah, it should be. Did he say some? Oh, web plot digitizer. God dang it. Web plot digitizer. That's the website. You can look at Timmy. He explained it really well. But yeah, web plot digitizer. It's how you make the targets. And after that, yeah, but the best thing to do is really to have your own mic and measure the IMs yourself, and you start from there. Like if you really like the IM, like for example, you want this as reference, like the volume S. So for example, for you, Ren, you measure your volume S and you EQ from there. You EQ whatever you want to change, and you make your own target. And then when you look at other squig, you just overlay. You overlay your own target. Say for example, let's see, oh god, who has Lumen though? Who has Lumen? Oh, listener has Lumen. Okay, so listener has Lumen. Hopefully I can upload here. Listener has Lumen. Upload FR documents v3. Yeah. So, or okay, let's not upload an FR in there. We can do upload target so that you can see. Oh no, yeah, FR is okay. Dude, Lumen looks good. No? But then again, yeah. So, yeah. So I think it's very close to volume S, no? S. Soft ears. Volume S. Wait. It's bugged. Okay. It's a cleaner volume S, man. Yeah. It's very good, man. Like, dude, like, but $1,000, right? Dang it, dude. I know it's Kilowback, man. I thought it was like 500. I said like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it, and then I look at look it up. It's like $1,000. I don't know. I hope I get the chance to listen to this though. Yeah, VB. I've heard his Azul. Timmy has it. So when I was in Japan, Timmy bought Azul, and I think it was overpriced, but he really wanted it. Yeah. So VB, yeah. So I met VB in Banban server. You know Banban? You guys know Banban, dude? Like this was like ancients ago, but yeah, this was like after he released Azul and he discontinued Azul, and he used to hang out in Banban server. Little bit of like a weeb culture in there, but it was fun because both Banban and I at that time we were in Japan, and it was just you know. And Rosa was still active in there. Rosa, you guys know Rosa? He's the one who I think he made a major contribution on Squig and the sites overall. And there were issues going on with Crin server and stuff like that, but he's a great dude. Anyhow, yeah. That's it for now, guys. Yeah, lesson learned today. Don't trust graphs. Don't trust your ears. Um, it's as bad as it sounds. It's really just to audition. The auditioning is really the best way to navigate this hobby. I just wish there are audio stores in every cities so that people can try out sets. The best thing we can do now is really find communities, and it's really about the community at the end of the day. It's about the sound, but it gets more fun when you meet people with the same passion and with the same hobby. So go out, find communities, look for people, and I'll see you guys. Um, I'll see you guys next week, or I don't know when. It's been really fun talking to you guys. Really appreciate the comments down below. Thank you so much for the suggestion. Oh, did you get any chance to listen to the more organic call? Yeah, I did. I did. Yeah, I did. Really nice. Again, their recordings are very clean. And I like it. You can tell when recordings are clean. It's just very easy to listen to. And so that's why I'm really thinking of doing an Apple subscription just so that I can listen to more stuff. But yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. And I'll try to improve my videos and higher review. I'll really take these comments. I'll incorporate them in my reviews, and I think a little bit of honesty really works wonders. And I don't want to be like the best reviewer out there. Just want to be myself and what audio means to me, and just share it to you guys. So hope to see you again. See you next week. I do have other reviews coming. They're not fun. Oh, but yeah. I'll release my review. The Super Mix 5 is very interesting though. Super Mix 5 and some other stuff. So yep. Peace out. Have a great day. Bye for now.